What's up everyone, this is John with Team Steele San Diego Homes here in sunny San Diego, California. Today I'm coming to you, it is May 2020, and unless you have been living under a rock, we are knees deep in this crazy coronavirus, COVID-19, all sorts of quarantine, shelter in place craziness. So obviously with everything going on, it has thrown a huge curveball to many industries. A lot of people were, essential versus non-essential. What does that mean? Can I work? Can I not work? And real estate is certainly one of those industries that was affected as well. Now, we were considered after some time an essential service because realistically people need to buy and sell homes no matter what's going on, right? It's definitely been a learning curve for us as real estate agents, interesting for sellers to experience. So really, this video is all about how do I sell my home during coronavirus, during COVID-19, during shelter in place and quarantine, right? Like, how can I effectively sell my home during this time period? Because the biggest thing is the market is still moving. One of the biggest things that we have noticed is as of right now, there has not really been much of a slowdown in the real estate market. We're still seeing a very little inventory and lots of buyers competing over those select few great properties. And we haven't really seen an impact on prices yet. Now, will this continue? That's, yet to be seen, right? Things may change in a couple weeks or months. Things seem to be evolving almost on a daily basis, in some of these cases. But as of right now, things are still very healthy and the market is moving and there are buyers out there. And, for sellers who are looking to sell their home, now can still be a really great opportunity. The biggest shift that we've seen in sellers and in selling homes is realistically around showings, right? It's, how do buyers get into properties with us trying to respect shelter in place rules and the 6 feet distances and social distancing and all that. How can you effectively sell your home and let buyers come in and out of your property and see your property? And that is where we've seen the biggest shift. There are still showings that are going on, but I would say they are drastically reduced and really limited to the more serious buyers. And we're not seeing any open houses. Open houses are not happening. And we're seeing a lot less of the more casual, hey, let's just check this one out for fun. Really what we're seeing is, showings are typically scheduled for the more serious buyers. I mean, you definitely want to be pre-qualified, and you also want to basically make sure that the buyers coming through are serious, right? As a seller, you don't necessarily want to be exposing yourself to the risk of getting sick or having people come in and out and inconvenience you if, people aren't serious. So now more than ever, it is important to have your property and your listing really shine online and look really great, because that is how people are shopping. I mean, it's how people were shopping before coronavirus, but that has just drastically increased as people are sitting at home, on their couch, on their computer, on their phone. They're looking at properties online, and that's ultimately how they're touring properties now too. So as a seller, it's important that if you are considering selling your property, that you make sure that that property looks amazing online. One of the biggest things that we're doing right now for our properties and for our listings is doing 3D Matterport tours. For those of you not in the industry, you may hear Matterport and not really know what it means. A service or program that basically what it does is they will take a special camera, place it throughout your home. It will take 3D photos and then it'll stitch all those photos together so that you have a virtual reality dollhouse of your property. You can see floor plans, you can walk through the property. If you've got VR goggles, you can literally put those on and walk through. But ultimately, it can give any interested buyers a very good idea of what that property looks like, of what your property looks like, before even having to step through the door. That really limits your exposure, your risk that you'll be taking on as a seller, so that hopefully the only people that you're opening your door for are people that are, very likely either going to write an offer or have already written an offer. So that is one of the biggest things. Now with that 3D tour, while it's amazing and awesome and gives buyers a really amazing way to view your home, the one downside is it does not hide anything. it quite literally is 360, which means, you know, you can't necessarily just, you know, tuck something out of the photos and, you know, shoot at the angles that they're not going to see. It is going to capture everything and anything. So as a seller, you really want to make sure, again, that your property is showing as best as possible to all of those interested buyers. So you want to make sure that that property is looking super clean, decluttered, staged if possible, and ultimately presenting it in the best light, so that when buyers are sitting on their couch, you know, in quarantine, that they get excited seeing your property and say, hey, I think this is worthwhile for us to potentially tour. So going back to the tours, in owner-occupied homes, we have been scheduling tight windows. Again, we're not doing open houses, but what we are doing is scheduling kind of like back-to-back showings, where we can make sure that, you know, only one group is in there at a time, make sure that everybody's wearing masks, make sure that people are disinfecting, wearing gloves, touching as little as possible, and ultimately, you know, keeping everybody safe, but also making sure that we're getting the serious and interested parties into that property to ultimately get you those offers. So going along with the fact that showings are restricted and so many buyers are going to be relying on those online photos and 3D tours and videos that are being done, very realistically may receive offers sight unseen. It is something that, you know, we saw in the past. It would typically with more aggressive investors who were more seasoned. Occasionally we would have traditional buyers offering sight unseen as well, but I would say in today's market, it's something that we're seeing much more than usual. Now, I know some sellers may be hesitant to take a sight unseen offer because, of course, they wonder, you know, hey, the buyer, you know, they haven't seen it. Are they going to understand everything with it? You know, I want to make sure that they're not asking for crazy repairs and stuff. I want to make sure that they know what they're getting into, you know, when they write that offer. So one of the things that you can do as a seller to protect yourself with potentially accepting an offer sight unseen is you can have clauses in your contracts that say things such as buyer has to see the property within, you know, 24 or 48 hours, or, you know, seller can cancel, stuff like that. That way you as a seller can feel confident, you know, hey, I can accept this offer, but I know that if this buyer doesn't act quick and get their acting gear and get in to see that property and confirm that that's the property that they want, that I can get back out and move on to another offer. So that's really how you can protect yourself as a seller from some of those sight unseen offers, because in today's market, you don't necessarily want to discount a sight unseen offer because that buyer very realistically may be serious, but given today's circumstances, they may be hesitant to, you know, do that in-person showing or something like that until they know that they have their offer accepted. So to wrap everything up, market is still moving, things are still hot here in San Diego. Whether or not that will continue has yet to be seen, but for right now, things are still selling. There's still very, very little inventory, so now is honestly still a great opportunity for sellers out there who are considering selling. Again, there's just added precautions that you need to take to make sure that you're safe and make sure that those who are touring are safe. But ultimately, the important thing is, if you're looking to sell a home, to partner with a really great real estate agent who knows how to market your home effectively and also navigate today's market, because there are a lot of question marks, there are a lot of unknowns right now. Because if you are dealing with the biggest financial asset that you own, you want to make sure that you are partnered with someone who's going to take great care of you and ultimately going to provide you success with that sale. So I hope that this was helpful for anyone who might be considering selling, might be on the fence, wondering, you know, hey, can I even sell my home right now? You know, are people able to tour? I again would encourage you to connect with a great real estate agent. We would love to help you if you're here in San Diego, or if you are anywhere in the country. We do have parties that we would be more than happy to recommend in your local market as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button below, like it, share it, all that good stuff. If you have questions or comments, leave those below as well. We would love to answer them for you. And if you're thinking of selling, or if you're thinking of buying, investing, anything to do with real estate, feel free to hit us up, 619-887-4429, or you can find us all over the internet at steelesandiegohomes.com and at Steele San Diego Homes.